Hi, this is Andrew with the Lean Startup Challenge 2013, and I'm here to introduce HitGenie, helps healthcare IT staff grant electronic medical record wishes. Calling all healthcare IT staff. Have you ever encountered a poorly defined change request by an end user, a nurse, a doctor, or someone in the finance department? Do you spend too much of your time explaining the same system build over and over again to end users? If so, then look no further. HitGenie is a change request or wish management system specifically designed for the integrated healthcare environment. HitGenie makes it easy for IT staff to standardize frequently requested change types, provide build transparency to end users, and remember the impact to downstream systems. So let's jump into a system demo. I'm logged in as IT staff, and I'm looking at my wish types, or templates for commonly requested changes to the system. Here's an order request, and here we have fields for order name, order type, and order code. Let's create a new wish type. This is a problem list, or symptoms for a common disorder. So let's add fields for the problem list name, problems included, the problem list code that appears in a third-party system. So now I log in as a physician, and I want to add a new problem list. Well, first, I can look at current build and see if there is a problem list for, say, the flu. Let's suppose there isn't yet. So then I enter in the information, flu symptoms, and the problems, headache and fever, and then the code needed. In conclusion, HitGenie makes it easy and customizable for healthcare IT staff to efficiently grant end-user wishes by gathering all necessary information up front. HitGenie makes it easy for end users to inspect current build and know what information to provide IT staff for a specific wish to be granted efficiently. Thanks for your time. Hi, this is Andrew with the Lean Startup Challenge, talking about the learning that went into HitGenie. We'll talk about the healthcare environment, customer segment hypotheses, value proposition hypotheses, and next steps. The healthcare environment's changed due to two acts this decade. The Affordable Care Act by Obama to reduce reimbursements, and the HITECH Act that has meaningful use criteria awarding $25 billion in healthcare IT stimulus. This has caused everyone to switch healthcare IT at once, industry consolidation to happen, increased system integration, coincidentally, reimbursement cuts leading to cost pressure, and future high EMR switching costs to ever change your EMR again. So looking at our customer segment that we targeted is really large integrated health systems, which are getting more frequent in number. There's some examples. Previously, their computer systems were more siloed. Changes could be made independently of one another for their hospitals and clinics, and they were less sophisticated. Changes were easier. Now, there's highly integrated systems with many impacted users whenever a change is made, one centralized IT department, and more complex systems needing to meet the criteria for meaningful use to get funding. So the riskier hypothesis we have is who at this organization feels the pain and who has the political power and the budget to purchase products. So we talked with a variety of folks at these organizations, and first of all, with the physicians, we found that they don't really want to be dealing with IT problems. They want to be spending their time with patients, providing care. Some are actually even really afraid of IT in general. So this is your poster child for underserved end users or picky or critical end users. Talking with IT departments, we confirmed the fact that they're very swamped, have a lot of things to do. The change request process right now is not very well handled, and it's sometimes internally handled and not handled so well either because they're swamped and they're in charge of maintaining their own change request forms. So, talking with EMR vendors, it doesn't look like they'll be entering the space either. So, shifting to our value proposition, first we looked to target one type of change, and that's reporting, changing reports. So, it's superficially time consuming, costly, not well prioritized. What we found really is that it's the same root problem. IT staff are overextended, report requests are not very well defined. We had to scrap this idea due to a competing EMR product that's free. We pivoted to look at a specific type of report, and specifically insurance recovery audits and reports that would assist with that. Turned out to be a bit of a rabbit hole because the root cause is really clinical coding and compliance, not any technological deficiency. So we scrapped that and really turned back to how can we enable the healthcare IT staff and free up some of their time. So we looked at testing and automating testing for them. Turns out that not most of the time they're not spending a lot of time on testing. It's mostly during upgrades where they're spending a huge amount of time on testing. So this is a problem, but not quite a morphine problem, and maybe not the lowest hanging fruit either. For freeing up some of that IT staff time because of all the technical challenges and close-knit integration that you need with the front end of the EMR to effectively automate testing. So we stuck with how can we enable IT staff, and just looked at the change request process from start to finish. And there's very little competition in this because the commercial ticket systems aren't geared specifically towards integrated health environments, and it doesn't look like the EMRs want to get into this space. And the internal competition's pretty low because they're so busy with all other things. So looking a little more closely at the way IT staff spend their time, here's a pie chart. You can look from the top clockwise. The end user isn't really required to spend much time. They can just free text, enter in whatever change they want. And then a lot of the time the IT staff are scrambling to record and ask the right questions over and over again. So total change time is pretty high. This is a non-standard change, meaning that it's less frequent change that occurs and requires more creativity. Move to your standard change. You see it's a little smaller pie chart, less time, but still there's a lot of time today spent interpreting the request. And we believe that it can be done better. So here's a standard change with HitGenie, and this is a change to add a user, to add some some pretty routine changes, and still information's incomplete up front, causing a lot of back and forth and a lot of wasted time. So we believe there's an efficiency there. So looking somewhat at next steps, we still have quite a bit of work to do. We want to hold more customer problem and solution interviews and clarify exactly what features are needed. We want to engage in a large health system pilot. We want to test hypotheses other than the value proposition and customer segment. And in the future, achieve EMR vendor partner status with big EMR companies and gain endorsement by financial auditors, American Hospital Association, or the Joint Commission. Thanks for your time.